things in theory that are important to counterattack. And we try to paint a picture, if we can, on the pitch with some clarity and try to create some situations like you will for your play with your players to see if you can get them to better understand, to become better at it. Major tactic: protect the back, win possession, catch the other team out if you can, and the complexity of that situation needs some coaches understanding and maybe some building up. Okay, so let's review a little. I wrote my notes just like you with your practice coaching. We talk about when does the counterattack take place? When? Regain possession. And when else will you see counterattack? Okay, on turnovers. Maybe you didn't regain it, but they make a mistake. We call that a turnover. Okay, a second. And what other situation in the game? Correct. Restarts. Defending restarts. So 3 major areas: regains, giveaways or turnovers, and defending and counter from restarts. So important to know that. Where does it happen on the field? Where did counter start? Definitely at the back third, because the other team's built up to there. Where else? Well, where does it happen? What's that? In the corner. Yeah, we said, yeah, you can break off the corner. Yeah, so in the back third, location-wise, we had that one. Midfield third? Yep. Front third? It's possible. So anywhere is possible. Hard to win it high up the pitch because the other team usually has numbers and an outlet to the keeper, but possible. Statistically, where the majority of regains won for counter that end up being goals, back half, central. Defending third, deep, the defensive half of the midfield third. Statistically, more possession wins there lead to counterattack goals. So you think about, you have this topic, where are you going to set your practice up? You're going to set it up in the front third? Probably not. You'll drop your team off, put yourself in ranks, get your players together, and win the ball deeper. Because, let's go on. What do we need for counter? And we'll move on quickly. We've got to get onto the field because we've had this. Has to be an attitude to play forward quickly. Accurate decisions and accurate play to move the ball forward. Not at the risk of turning the ball over and rushing. And you talk about a definition of counterattack for your teams. That's an interesting one. I looked to the FA. They make a good coach's understanding. 15 seconds after you regain in your defensive third. Because you might have to say, well, what's a counter? Yeah, you went up, but is there something that would be a guideline for your teams on whether or not that was a counter or just building a goal? Well, if you counter from a regain in the back, defensive third, you have 15 seconds to get a shot off. That would qualify, if you will, in parameter. Higher up the pitch, midfield third, what would you say? 10. Well, it's more time than you think. You have some more time. 10 seconds from midfield third, and we'll put the clock. When we get into our practice stage 3, bang, we win the ball. How long does it take us to get off a shot on goal? Which is ideal. You may not. You make a bad pass, they intercept. These are all the breakdowns. You may not get a shot. We're here to hopefully create some situations that would help us. Okay? So, interesting topic to put on the field. So, pass it forward. Okay, how do we advance the ball forward? Long pass could be one and done, where you see an open player up front. Could be a short pass to somebody else that can play forward. You may be shut down, so you release the ball to somebody else that goes on, or carry the ball. Most counterattacks, successful, are result of intercepting and taking the ball, intercepting with the feet, and carrying on and cutting players out and creating numbers up or overload for your team. So you're going to have to think about creating space behind the back line and how we can get numbers quickly. Even at least, hopefully, numbers up in the attack. Well, it's a flip-flop. You've got to think, how can I set up the defense I'm playing, that I'm setting up to be in those high positions so that there's room to counter. You get a defense that just stays back, there's no threat. They don't come forward, there's no counter. So it's a tricky mix. All right, so what else did I write? How? 10 to 15 second guideline. to get a shot off within 15 of a regain in the defensive third, 10 seconds midfield third as a basic guideline. But you're going to have to quantify it somehow, and that's a good starting point. Usually takes at least 2 passes, just because the complexity of linking one and done can be done. Usually at least 2 advance, or the first pass takes a runner wide and then he plays to a support player centrally. All right, remember the theory. And there has to be momentum. Everybody's got a job to do. The player on the ball has to advance the ball forward. The players in front of the ball have to think about getting in positions to make through passes possible. They have a role. Everyone's got a role. The players in advance of the ball have to think about attacking the back of the defense or getting in between defenders so that through passes are possible. Those around the ball and behind it, support. Everyone has a role to play, and then once the ball is transferred, if it is long, we move up as a unit to maintain compactness. So there's your theory. Easy to say, harder to put. We'll see. And then you got to get support. We talked about that. So those are you got to have a strategy of how you're going to win the ball. You got to steal it. You got to think speed and accuracy. You got to sustain the momentum of the counter. You got to keep it going up the field if you can, because you're on that time constraint. All right, so a warm-up activity. That's excellent. What you start with a circle with the 2. We now kind of structured. I'm going to need 12 players. Now, coaches, this one and the next one. So my warm-up activity and then my small-sided game. First time I see this material. So you tell me, it looks good to me, just like you all. Looks great on paper. You get out there, shit. You know, it didn't happen or whatever. So bear with me. I think it looks like it's going to make a good demonstration. We'll see how it plays out. But that's exciting for staff. I want to try some new ideas. Always looking like you. Content. What looks like a realistic practice for me that'll get my topic. So I show you a couple that I haven't done this. I don't think we go wrong. We need 3 teams of 4. 4 green, 4 blue, 4 red. Let's go in that far box.
Wow, yeah.
Blues, you go in the middle box, the blue box. And green in this box.
There's 3 boxes along here. So from the yellow cone sideline to the blue ones, there's 3 boxes.
One player is on the back line. The back line, one on the left and right, and one in here. So a diamond shape. One on the back line. Right, one on the side,
diamond shape.
Here. Right. Yeah, you played it in line.
Every square they make a diamond, and the first square.
All right. So we set up a situation where you're going to be facing play, and same on that end. Simon, one stays along that last line because you're going to be a target.
It's a 3-game, 12 guys.
Okay, so we create a 4 against 2. Right? So
Los rojos, azules.
Create a 4 on 2. Any of your players, yeah? Good. Okay. Can you play our point man here? Yeah. So many times he'll be facing play. Can you reach? Simon. Elliot. Target man. We make him our target. Okay?
It's a lot easier than notes.
Let's see if we can do it. Anybody can do it, but you're facing. Anybody can do it. So we don't, just see what you get. You can do it. Super, how we go?
Okay, this is a warm-up. I'm gonna start recording right now. So it's just ball, you can add restrictions, how many passes, 2 guys go in, 2 guys come out. Simple stuff. Nothing new. I will stop the recording and move on to the second step.